Hi, welcome to a new episode of Speaking-lish podcast. Today we will learn about passive voice. Let's get started. We use passive voice when we want to give more importance to the action rather than the subject, or when we don't want to say or don't know who did the action. Very good. Let's continue with an important rule. We form the passive by using the auxiliary verb be and the past participle of the main verb. Yes. How to make the passive voice? Here we have a sentence in active voice. An old man feeds the pigeons. To make the passive voice, we have to follow some steps. Are you ready? Step number 1. Identify the subject, the verb, and the object of the active sentence. An old man, subject. Feeds, verb, the pigeons, object. Very good. Step number 2. Identify the verb tense of the active sentence. That sentence is in simple present, okay? And we are ready to write our passive sentence. Step number 3. The object will become the new subject. The pigeons, very good. Step number 4. Write the auxiliary verb be in the verb tense of the active sentence. And we have 3 options. Am, is, are, because the active sentence is in simple present. In this case, the pigeons are, very good. Step number 5. Write the main verb in past participle. Feed will become fed. Step number 6. Add the word by. By is telling us who did the action. Excellent. Finally, step number 7. Write the subject of the active sentence. By who? By an old man. And that's all. Let's read the full sentence. The pigeons are fed by an old man. Yes, excellent. Let's continue with more examples. Number 2. The professor told him not to talk in class. Let's repeat the process. The professor, subject, told, verb, him, object. Not to talk in class is the complement, but don't worry. The complement will be always at the end of the active or passive sentence. Let's start with the object. Him will become he. Then the auxiliary verb in simple past, because the active sentence is in simple past. So be in simple past is was or were. He was or he were. Well, it is he was because he is third person. Very good. Let's continue with the main verb in past participle. Told. Then the word by, and finally, who did the action? The professor. We don't have to forget the complement, not to talk in class. Let's read the full sentence. He was told by the professor not to talk in class. Yeah, very good. Number 3. The children had eaten the cake. The children is the subject. Had is the auxiliary verb. That is telling us that the sentence is in past perfect. Eaten, main verb, and finally the object, the cake. So let's put the object in the place of the subject, the cake. Then the auxiliary verb be in past perfect. Had been. Very good. Then the main verb in past participle, eaten, by who? By the children. And that's all again. Very good. The cake had been eaten by the children. Excellent. Number 4. They are interviewing her for the job. They, subject, are auxiliary verb, interviewing, main verb, her, object, for the job, complement. Let's start with the object. Her will become she. Then we have to write the auxiliary verb be in present continuous. She is being. Exactly. Then the main verb in past participle. Interviewed. Very good. By who? By them. And finally the complement for the job. Let's read the full sentence. She is being interviewed by them for the job. Excellent. Number 5. John will buy a new watch. Let's repeat the process. John, subject. Will, auxiliary verb. Buy, main verb. A new watch, object. The sentence is in simple future. So let's start with the object. A new watch. Then auxiliary be in simple future will be main verb in past participle, bought, and finally the subject of the active sentence. By John. Very good. Let's read it. A new watch will be bought by John. And the last sentence. Sally would reject the offer. Sally, subject. Would, modal verb. Reject, main verb. The offer, object. Again, let's start with the object. The offer. Here we have a modal verb. It is a special case. Why? Because the verb be, well, the auxiliary verb be, will not change with modal verbs, with any modal verb. So the offer would be. More examples about modal verbs. Would be, should be, might be, can be, could be, might be, and so on. Very good. Let's continue with the verb in past participle. Rejected. By who? By Sally. Very good. Let's read it. The offer would be rejected by Sally. And that's all, guys. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to Speak English, leave a like and a comment, and see you people. Take care of yourself. See you next time.